All right, 25 grand for you to go, even if you just joined the company. You know, at Riot Games, a big online gamer and all, they cannot deal with driftwood, with deadwood. So they're offering such workers a chance to leave. No hard feelings. Here's a check. Now, why don't you check yourself right out the door to Todd Schoenberger, Michelle Fields, and Jessica Ehrlich. Michelle, what do you think of this?
I think it's a great idea. I wish that we had some sort of policy like that here in D.C. where we could just pay some people on Capitol Hill to just leave and never come back.
Well, we pay them not to do anything, so in a way we have half the story right.
I wish we could just clean house with this policy, but I think it's good. It's better to just give someone some money and go than to pay a very, very high salary to have an employee who's not engaged and doesn't enjoy the job. In the end, I think it probably makes sense to do that.
Jessica, what do you make of this? Because, you know, there are limits to this, and in the gamer community, a lot of these guys are paid upwards of $100 to $250, even more, $1,000 a year. So $25,000 might not be as much as it seems. But I know what they're up to here, to send a message. If you're not happy, get out.
Yeah, and they have a little 60-day window. I mean, I may be a little old school, and this is to me, like a millennial kind of crazy thing. But if it helps their productivity, they've got a high, fast turnaround. If they feel that this is actually something that they can have given their balance sheet and it's going to work out for them on a company level, and they're not dealing with shareholders, then more power to them. And, maybe I'm sure some of the parents with these boomerang kids would be very happy that they've got 25 grand to be able to go on into their next job and not be living at home.
I'm thinking of Sting. How would he react? 25 grand for you to leave the house? I don't think so. See, you brought my British accent.
Just to get out of bed.
All right, well, Todd, here's what I'm thinking, though. If you, the company, hired these gabones to begin with, now you're paying a lot of money to get them out. Shame on you. And you're costing me money as a shareholder to kick them out the door.
That's right. Well, here's the thing, though, Neil. Let's look at the reason why this is even happening. Look, you have companies that wish to hire or fire people, and if they try to terminate people, there's all kinds of lawsuits. It could take upwards of 12 to 18 months just to get rid of an employee. So you try to manage them out. But if you're in the gaming community, maybe you're just slacking, you're hanging out, you're doing whatever. So they're trying to entice you to leave because obviously it's cheaper to just let you walk out the door.
But, this is not to disparage folks, the gaming community or gamers in general, but I use my sons as proxy because I play these games and they innovate. But I wouldn't give them a dime for that effort. But how would you be able to discern from their attitude whether they're into the game or they're not into the game, is what I'm asking.
That's right.
Well, I think it's a lot with the programmers, right? I mean, they're talking about people who know, these are folks who they even know from Ruby on Rails and different things in terms of like the actual back end.
So you'd be able to look at them and know, hey, no, this one's jazzed and into it and coming up with creative stuff. This other loser is not. I got to get rid of the loser.
Well, they also have to, their work is all team oriented. So when they're doing this sort of network creation, they have to work with other people. They're checking on each other. If one person, if one cog in the wheel isn't building at the same rate and level as other people, then it throws off their entire delivery.
That's a good point. You educated me there. By the way, guys, these video games are going to be huge. Big. Michelle, what do you make of this and what message it sends? Because I think that a savvy prospective employee could join a company and then want to quit and wait for that big payout and done.
Well, I think now it's actually good for human resources because they have a lot of pressure to then make sure that they're getting and they're hiring good people, because then it falls back on them. They're wasting more of the company's money. So it makes human resources work harder at ensuring that they're hiring good people. But I think a lot of the people who apply for these jobs aren't usually slackers. They're making good money. They're talented. So I think it's just some people aren't a good fit for a company or brand.
But Zappos is doing it. What do they sell? Shoes pretty much online and all that?
Yeah.
Zappos does. Amazon has something similar. So they're all trying to do the same thing and stress the esprit de corps, right? So there's something that.
And the process to actually hire these people, Neil, it actually is multiple interviews. If you go to Google and you interview there, it takes you up towards upwards of 10 interviews before they actually give you the job offer. With this type of a deal where they have to actually filter out the cons because you don't want somebody just joining and then quitting, it could take upwards of 15, maybe 18 different interviews. The process will be dragged on for many months before you actually start seeing hires. That actually could damage people.
Yeah, I would say that, but I mean, when every company I've been at, including when I was at Goldman Sachs, you go through an extensive interview process. I think it would be interesting
Goldman Sachs,
to see.
Come on, I mean, it's the creme de la creme, you know.
But when you're,
Okay.
Amazon also, I would like to see how many of these companies that have these policies also have ping pong tables and other amenities, like what the ratio is there for their employees.
Right.